you see, we had it started running. Of course, there's a little bit of air leak here, so it's gonna have a high it's gonna have a high, you know, it's just high. And this cable, gotta figure out how to change this shit. But yes, got it running, so hopefully tomorrow clean up everything. Okay, 1, 2, number 3, it's not running right, so gotta figure that out. So I know this video has kind of been jumping around, but the goal for today to finish this thing off is to wire up the VTEC solenoid, get all the coolant into the system, mount the radiator, put the exhaust flange in, and just basically put a decent base map on it, so at least it'll run idle with no problem. That's the goal I'm trying to accomplish today. So that's what I'm gonna do. So everything else is already in place. The coolant, I fixed that. So yeah, everything's in place, so I'm gonna get cracking. So first thing I have to do is take off the exhaust manifold and the little take off that little flex section that I made, so this way everything is going to be ready to be welded up and it shouldn't be a problem.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Oh!
Yeah, rev it up a little bit. Okay. So it's a long disaster, but as you can hear, it sounds a lot better. What happened was number 3 injectors was bad, which you have over here. These happen to be OBD2 injectors. I only have OBD1, so I had to go to my boy's house to get some. So we swapped it in, and it sounds a whole lot better. Idling normally sounds great. I could tell by this, because when it first started up, these 3 changed colors, but this one was silver. We unplugged the injector, and the car just kept running like it was rough. So right now everything is much better, so I'm just waiting to make sure it comes up to temperature, the fan kicks in, and then maybe, you know, next week or whatever, bleed the clutch one more time, bleed the brakes, and then take it for a little spin. Yeah, but I still just want to make sure it does in fact change. I don't have the laser. I already ordered one that should be coming soon, but it runs better, it sounds smooth, so I think the injectors fix the problem. And yeah, it looks like it's already changing color. So that was the easiest way for me to know that it was running rough. And this is just a look at the computer. It's idling about 1,900. Batteries charging, everything seems to be doing well. The intake air temperature, the one that came with in the engine was bad, so I also had to switch that out. So I have my own in there, so I have to get another one for this particular vehicle. But yeah, hopefully next week I should have the wideband sensor hooked up and ready to go. So yeah, so far everything is good. Let's see what the TPS does. Yeah, Still gotta mess around with the TPS, but it's good enough for now. I guess without the wideband, it's kind of hard to, play with that, but it's good for now. Alright, that's it for the night. We got this one running. The fan is coming on for the overprotection. These fans are pretty shit anyway, so gotta upgrade those. And also the thermostat is stuck closed, so now gotta switch that out again. But little by little, she's coming together. So with the wideband on, hopefully next week, hopefully in the next video, I should be able to just put this car on the road, drive it, and fix all the little gremlins. Ooh, today's hot, so I had to go get the fan. But this is a problem. I was trying to bleed the brakes, and as you can see, there's brake fluid all over the floor. The speedy bleed I had just kept popping off the cap for the master cylinder, and everything just fell on the floor, so that was a whole disaster. So I just end up just manually bleeding it for the front, and for the back I just left it alone because those wheel cylinders are actually broken, so I have to change those out. So that's gonna be the next thing I do. But this is a closer look of the exhaust, fully welded up, no issues. I think it came out pretty good. So just transition up, so that's close to the body, so it shouldn't really be rubbing, hopefully. But besides that, it should be ready to go. Oh yeah, I forgot, no brakes. So right now I'm just using the e-brake to basically stop the car, but she moves, and there's just a voiceover because I actually lost the footage. The mic wasn't hooked up, but she moves. Right now I'm just trying to wrap up the Civic, so hopefully on this episode we should be able to finish the rear brakes to at least have that working so we could test drive the vehicle. I will be upgrading the fan to the 1600 CFM fans. I'm changing the hood risers, and I'm also wiring up the small relay harness. So I'm going to throw those in. Hopefully that takes care of everything. Now, the reason why I don't want to cut the mesh, because this hood is damaged. It has to get fixed and repaired or replaced. So I don't really want to do all the extra work. So I'm just going to change those hood risers out, which will allow the hood to close. And then once that's done, once we get a new hood, then we could just do the modification and see if we could lower it or whatever. But for right now, that's the game plan. So I have the hood closed. I had to get the extended risers, but I ended up just cutting out the whole center section anyway, because it was touching the valve cover. So at this point, it works. So I'm gonna take these out to see if I can put the shorter ones back in. And if everything clears, that's it for the hood. Situation is handled. One of the issues were it was dented here, so everything moved. So once I pried everything back, played around with it, everything clears. So I'm gonna put the small hood risers back in and see if those do in fact clear. But yeah, this hood is terrible. It needs to be replaced. But everything was literally already falling apart, so it wasn't that much of any work actually to just put it in. So now that everything closes, switch those risers out, and then move on to the fan, then the brakes in the back. So I placed the smaller risers back on. I cut out the mesh. I left that side for whatever kind of support it will be, but I left something in. So everything clears. Also a good start. So I'm just gonna close it, pop the hood, show you it works, and then move on to taking off the fans, and hopefully that one should fit inside. And if it does, that will be very good for the cooling system, because these little eBay fans don't really do much. Still gotta move it over a little bit, but this is the damage I was talking about. But currently it closes. I like this one's a little better because it's not as high as the other one, but so one problem solved for now. So once my boy gets here, we'll move the hood over a little bit, but right now I think we're good to go. Just gonna start tackling the radiator. Just gotta remove this, push it back, and start taking out the fittings that holds the radiator in place. So the radiator is back mounted, still have space. The fan is in. Here's a harness. I just gotta wire it up. Yeah, I should turn it this way. Whatever. Just gotta wire it up. I'm gonna use the OEM trigger. So this is gonna trigger it to come on. So the harness is over there, but shouldn't take me too long to get that in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go focus on the rear brakes, and then just come back and knock this out. But right now, just knock the brakes out. So we did the fan, we did hood risers, we got the hood to close. So now I'm just gonna do the rear brakes, and then hopefully that goes smoothly because they're drums, and I hate drums. So as usual, there's always an issue. These brake shoes are too big to fit into this rotor, so I'll be reusing the old ones. They seem to be decent, but the main issue was the slave cylinder. So I hope it's the right one. So we're just gonna take it apart and keep going. So with this, there's not much room to work, so I couldn't really record much. This was the bolt that came off. It was completely stripped, so I had to use a chisel to just get it started, and then use pliers to turn it. So when you're doing these, you gotta be careful. There is a right and there is a left one. I didn't know that. I thought it was all the same, but luckily I looked. I guess it changes the angle of how this goes. This bleeder is. So this is the left side, so this is one I'm gonna use. Everything is in, it's running. I just temporarily hooked up the fan to make sure it would work. So that's in, everything is good. So yeah, she does drive. Yeah, still have to wire up that, but this project's come to an end. So yeah, happy with how it turned out.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me,